Okay, I'm gonna make a video on Yahoo's recent video. It was uploaded just a few days ago, as you can see, and is called Gamergate Fight Continues on Twitter. So let's start this.
Hashtag Gamergate is a vicious fight that's been playing out on Twitter over the past few weeks. Some video gamers have taken sides on various issues, and there have even been threats of murder and sexual violence.
Citation needed. And Gamergate isn't just a few months old. It's been over a year. So where have you been getting your information from? I would like to know that.
And here to talk to us about the controversy and how it could impact perceptions and revenues in this multi-billion-dollar industry is Kate Edwards. She is the executive director of the International Game Developers Association, and she joins me now from San Francisco.
So just to give you some information, I had a conversation with her on Facebook through a mutual friend of ours, and I asked her because they were talking about Gamergate, and that piqued my interest. And she said because this person, which is a friend of ours, he got suspended from Twitter and basically blamed it on GG, and then said basically this was just as bad during the height of GG, whatever that meant. And I kind of challenged her on this and asked her what happened, and she claimed she had gotten threats and harassment and reported it to the FBI. And I asked her, oh, well, what did she do about it? Did she block them? And she said, yeah, but she blocked a few thousand people on Twitter because of this. And I asked her why. Isn't it a little overkill to block thousands of people when they might never threaten you or harass you or anything like that? And she never gave me an answer to that. So take of that what you will.
Francisco. Thank you so much, Kate. So many people still have not heard of hashtag Gamergate or don't really know what it is. Can you briefly tell us?
Sure. So the Gamergate issue, the Gamergate hashtag, if you will.
I would also like here to say it's only one perspective they are getting their information from. So instead of having two guests on, you have someone who has a clear bias against Gamergate, and this is supposed to be journalism. You're supposed to get both sides of the story, and your entry doesn't indicate that you've even done your research for this without citation. So, yeah.
That has emerged over the last couple of months is essentially a movement, so to speak, as they would like to call it. It's essentially started with a very small group of known misogynists.
I would like a citation for that, please. Where did they come from? How do you what do you even define as misogynist? And just how many are there? There are no citation. It's just a claim you're making, pulling it out of your ass with no evidence.
In the internet community, particularly in the gamer community, who basically don't like the notion that the typical gamer, so to speak, is actually now represents a much larger demographic than the young, mostly Caucasian male demographic.
And that is quite ironic, because most gamers on Steam, I'm gonna put it in the description, most gamers on Steam are male. A majority of gamers are male. And the hashtag #NotYourShield, whether you like it or not, just showed that even people within Gamergate aren't just cis white males. So I would like your citation on this claim as well.
And so the fact that women are playing games, I mean, people across the wide spectrum of age, nationality, race are all playing games these days, it kind of dilutes the notion of what a gamer really is. And the reality is,
Yeah, but do women call themselves gamers? It's a different. There's a difference calling yourself a gamer and just playing games. I mean, playing Farmville and playing something like, I don't know, let's say Dragon Age or Witcher or whatever the hell you like to play, which requires you to play or invest a lot of hours into this instead of waiting on something like a bus or when you have a break or something and you take up your phone and or your iPad and play a little Bejeweled or a Candy Crush or Tetris or whatever the hell you have on your phone, Angry Birds, things like that. Most women don't call themselves gamers because they're casual gamers. Just do it to make time go instead of using or enriching your time and have it as a hobby. That's a big difference.
that everyone these days is a gamer to some degree, or can be. And so this group basically lashed out initially at female developers, and it kind of escalated from there.
Okay.
Citation needed.
Why did major companies, gaming companies, stay on the sidelines and not take a stand?
I can actually answer that because you don't shit on your customers. It's as simple as that. You don't go out and say, hey, gamers who buy games and associate or post in a hashtag, you need to shut the fuck up and not buy a game or things like that. It's not good business. It's as simple as that. But I want to hear her answer. Let's hear it.
I think the main reason why the larger companies did not get involved with this and haven't yet is primarily because they don't have a direct stake in it. And the reason is because this small vocal minority basically went directly after independent developers or independent voices within the game industry.
Not really. Gamergate went after journalists, and it happened to be that indie developers were involved. There's a big difference. If you take a look at stuff that's been involved with IGF, where Brandon Boyer did some shady stuff, you can go to Deep Freeze and look all this stuff up. You can see what happened with him, and even Zoe Quinn and all the other indie developers which have done some very shady stuff with conflicts of interest. That's why the indie devs have been largely involved with the hashtag, because the indie developers in San Francisco are the regressive left, and they don't give a rat's ass of getting caught or doing what they have to get money or victim bucks, as you may say. That's the reason why indie developers are involved in this to begin with.
Women, because I think they felt that they were easy targets. And so these people, they do not have the protections of a large publisher or large companies, and so that does make them an easier target. And so the larger companies, because they have not been directly involved or implicated, they realize what a messy issue this has become, and I think for them, they'd rather just kind of sit on the sideline. They're certainly aware of what's going on.
But this could hurt their sales, right?
There's always the potential of that, and of course there's always the danger if they do speak up, that if this particular group lashes out at them, as they've been known to do against some of the media outlets and other companies, that's a possibility.
Really quickly, tell me why Intel pulled its advertising from the online gaming publication Gamasutra.
Well, the situation with Intel was pretty straightforward. Basically what you had was a situation where Lee Alexander called Gamers Dead and
basically shit on their readers in one article and posted it under news instead of an op-ed, which is unethical right there. It's that simple, and gamers took notice and contacted the advertisers. It's that simple.
Small group was flooding Intel with a lot of form emails.
Or they provided them with evidence, but potato to these people and no citations again.
The Gamergate people, you could actually go to their site and find the form email where they're encouraging.
What site is there even a site to? Oh, okay.
People to, you know, flood Intel as one of the sponsors of Gamasutra, and Gamasutra inappropriately responded.
And but what's the business implication for companies such as Intel when they pull their sponsorship versus an AMD?
Well, the potential implication right there is, I mean, obviously even though they were striving not to take a side in the issue, the fact that they removed the ads effectively polarizes the situation, so that now you've got game developers who will think twice about Intel. I know they don't want to, because Intel has been a great partner to the industry, and I think they will continue to be.
You mean the 200 or 300K? Maybe mistaken here, but it's 200 or 300K, which they gave to Feminist Frequency. So pulling it from Gamasutra and giving it to something else. So take of that what you will.
But for individual developers who are affected by this, it certainly taints their perception of the company. And of course, on the gamer side as well, there's certain things at stake there too.